Hello students, in this video, let us learn few more problems in normal probability distribution. Let us take the first question. In a test on electric bulbs, it was found that the lifetime of a particular brand was distributed normally with an average life of 2000 hours and the standard deviation of 60 hours. If a firm purchases 2500 bulbs, find the number of bulbs that are likely to last for more than 2100 hours, less than 1950 hours, between 1900 to 2100 hours. So let us first write what is given. In the question it is given that the average life of a bulb is 2000 hours. That is mu is 2000 and the standard deviation sigma is given to be 60. So let us take x to be the life of the bulb. Now we have to find P of x greater than 2100 hours, P of x less than 1950 hours and P of x 1900 less than x less than 2100 hours. That means x are given. For these x's we have to find corresponding values of z. That can be done using this standard normal variate, that is x minus mu by sigma. X minus 2000 by 60. So let us find z for different values of x. When x is 1900, the value of z is found to be minus 1.67. When x is 1950, z is minus 0.3. Similarly, when x is 2100, the value of z is plus 1.67. Now let us take the problems one by one. First question is, we have to find the number of bulbs whose lifetime is more than 2100 hours. So in terms of probability, if I write, it can be written as P of x greater than 2100. When I write this x in terms of z, it can be written as P of z greater than 1.67. If we represent this graphically, we get a bell-shaped curve as shown here in the figure. So if I mark this 1.67 comes here. So we have to find the region greater than 1.67. So it is shown in this shaded part. We have to find the area of the shaded portion. So as done in the problems before, here also we will take the half of the curve. The area of the half of the curve is given by 0.5. From this half portion of the curve, which is equal to 0.5, we will subtract this empty portion. This empty portion is represented by phi of 1.67. That is from here to here, the area will be phi of 1.67. So 0.5 minus phi of 1.67, using the probability table we get 0.4525. So 0.5 minus 0.4525 gives 0.0475. So the probability of the bulbs with the lifetime more than 2100 hours is 0.0475. But we have to find the value in the terms of number of bulbs. It is already given that a firm purchases 2500 bulbs. So to find the number of bulbs, we have to multiply this value 0.0475 into 2500. When we multiply this, we get the value as 118.75, which is approximately equal to 119. Therefore, among the 2500 bulbs, number of bulbs with a lifetime more than 2100 hours is 119. So let us move on to the next problem. The next problem, we have to find the number of bulbs with a lifetime less than 1950 hours. If I write in terms of Z, it is P of Z less than minus 0.83. We know that both the sides of the bell curve along from the line x is equal to mu are exactly symmetrical. So this negative value can be avoided, and we will write exactly the symmetric portion which is on the positive side, and we write it as Z, P of Z greater than 0.83. Since both are exactly symmetrical, this negative value can be rewritten as P of Z greater than 0.83. So, if I represent this problem graphically, we will get a bell curve where I have represented the negative value minus 0.83. So, Z less than 0.83 means it represents the values to the left of 0.83. If I draw exactly symmetrical part on the positive side, I get 0.83, and we have to shade the points which are on the right of 0.83. So, to find this, we will take this value, that is 0.5, minus, we will subtract this empty portion here which is given by phi of 0.83. Phi of 0.83 using the probability table is 0.2967. So 0.5 minus 0.2967 gives 0.2033. To get the number of bulbs with a lifetime less than 1950 hours, we have to multiply the value of the probability with 2500. When we multiply, we get the approximate number of bulbs to be 508. So among that 2500 bulbs, number of bulbs with a lifetime less than 1950 hours is 508. Let's move on to the third sub question there. Here we have to find the number of bulbs with a lifetime between 1900 to 2100 hours. So if it is written in terms of Z, it can be written as P of minus 1.67 less than Z less than 1.67. This can be split into two terms, that is P of minus 1.67 less than Z less than 0 plus P of 0 less than Z less than 1.67. This negative value can be written in the form of P of 0 less than Z less than 1.67. Here we are using the result that the negative portion is exactly symmetrical to the positive portion of the given values, and the second term we will write as it is. So both the terms are same, so we get 2 times 0 less than Z less than 1.67. So if I draw the bell curve and mark the points, it will be this shaded portion as shown in the figure. So this is 2 times phi of 1.67. So value of phi of 1.67 is 2 into 0.4525, which is 0.905. So to get the number of bulbs with lifetime between 1900 to 2100 hours, we have to multiply by 2500. When we multiply by 2500, we get the approximate number of bulbs to be 2263. This is how we can solve the problem using the normal distribution and the normal probability table. So let us go to a different kind of problem now. So let us see the next problem. In a normal distribution, 31% of the items are under 45. That is, P of x less than 45, under 45 is 31%. 31% means 31 by 100, which is nothing but 0.31. So according to the given data, P of x less than 45 is 0.31 and 8% of the items are over 64. Over 64 means P of x greater than 64 is equal to 0.08. So here our intention is to find the mean and standard deviation. That means we have to find mu and sigma. Again we will consider the formula for the standard normal variate, that is z is equal to x minus mu by sigma. So till now whenever x was given, we were finding the corresponding z. But here since we don't know mu and sigma, we cannot find the corresponding z. So we will write it as when x is equal to 45, 45 minus mu by sigma is equal to z1. We will represent the corresponding value of z as z1 in the case when x is equal to 45. Similarly, when x is equal to 64, 64 minus mu by sigma, we represent the corresponding value of z when x is equal to 64 is equal to z2. So after that, in all the other problems how we have done, in a similar way, P of x less than 45, when we write in terms of z, it becomes P of x less than P of z less than z1. So here the value it is given as 0.31 and P of x greater than 64. When I write in terms of z, it becomes P of z greater than z2. Here we have represented the value as z1 and z2. So the same thing will be doing here. So P of z greater than z1 is equal to 0.08. So these values are already given here, 0.31 and 0.08. The same thing we will be writing here. So now let us take the first result. P of x less than 45 is equal to P of z less than z1 is equal to 0.31. If I represent this using a bell curve, see z1 is a positive value. So z1 I have drawn here. So P of z less than z1 means it will contain all the values up to z1 like this. That means it covers the other portion of the curve also. That means this portion of the curve is 0.5. So it will be 0.5 plus the remaining portion, that is phi of z1. So the first result can be written as 0.5 plus phi of z1 is equal to 0.31. Therefore, phi of z1 is equal to 0.31 minus 0.5, which we get as minus 0.19. Similarly, I will take the second result, that is P of x greater than 64. When written in terms of z becomes P of z greater than z2 is equal to 0.08. So z2 again I have drawn here in the bell curve. So we want all the points greater than z2. That means after z2 we have to shade. That is obtained by subtracting 0.5 from this empty portion. So 0.5 minus this empty portion is phi of Z2. The shaded portion is given as 0.08. So 0.5 minus phi of Z2 is equal to 0.08. So phi of Z2 is nothing but 0.5 minus 0.08, which is 0.42. So till now we were given some value of Z. We were finding phi of Z using the normal table. Now phi of Z is given. We have to find the value of Z1 and Z2 using the normal table. So this can be done using the normal probability table. See, here we have to find the value of Z. So let us find the phi of Z. Let us see where we will get point. Minus will keep outside as it is. We want 0.19. We want to find where we will get this point 0.19 and 0.42. If I find in the table 0.19, we get around here 0.19, approximately 0.1915 can be written as 0.19. So we get the value of Z as 0.5 at 00. That is 0.5 plus 0.00, which is 0.5. So the value of Z1, the value of phi of Z1 is minus 0.19. So minus I have written outside. We get the value at 0.5. So the value of Z1 is minus 0.5. Similarly, let us find the value of Z2. We have to find a point where we get 0.42. Let us go to the table again. 0.42. If we check here, 0.42 we get here exactly, almost here. That is 1.4, and the corresponding value here is 0. So it is 0.00. 1.4 plus 0.00 is 1.4. So 1.4. Phi of Z2 is equal to phi of 1.4. So value of Z2 is 1.4. Now we have to, our aim is to find mu and sigma. So we will substitute the values Z1 and Z2 in the standard normal variate. That is 45 minus mu by sigma Z1 is 0.5. 64 minus mu by sigma is equal to 1.4. So take this sigma to the right hand side and rearrange the terms so that we get two equations. That is mu minus 0.5 sigma is equal to 45 and mu plus 1.4 sigma is equal to 64. So we get two simultaneous equations like this. So solve these two simultaneous equations using your calculator. We get the values of mu to be 50 and sigma to be 10. I hope you all know how to find the values of mu and sigma using your calculators. Go to mode, equations, number of unknowns here is 2 and type the given values, you get the required result. So the mean is 50 and standard deviation is 10. So one more problem which is similar to this, let us see so that you clearly understand it. In an examination, 7% of the students score less than 35 marks and 89% of the students score more than 60% of marks. 35% means the mark is out of 100. 60% means the mark is for 100. Find the mean and standard deviation if the marks are normally distributed. It is given that If p of z is equal to 1 by square root of 2 pi into integral 0 to z e to the power minus z square by 2 dz, then p of 1.2263 is 0.39, p of 1.4757 is 0.43. So here first we will write the given. It is given that number of students, the probability of number of students scoring less than 35 is 7%. 7% means 7 by 100, we get it as 0.07. So number of students scoring less than 60 is 89%. That is 89 by 100, 0.89. Our aim is to find mu and sigma. So as in the previous problem, we will take the standard variate and find the corresponding values of z when x is 35 and x is 60. When x is 35, 35 minus mu by sigma, we will take it as z1. The corresponding value of z we will take as z1. When x is 60, 60 minus mu by sigma, we will take the corresponding value of z to be 62. So this term, when I write in terms of z, it can be written as p of x less than 35 can be written as p of z less than z1. Here we have got when x is equal to 35, this value is z1. So p of x less than 35 can be written as p of z less than z1. The value is already given as 0.07. So if I draw the bell curve for this, less than z1, if we take z1 as an arbitrary point here, less than z1 means we have to shade all this portion up to z1. So that is nothing but the sum of 0.5. So this can be calculated as, this is 0.5 plus this portion. So we have added 0.5 plus phi of z1 is equal to 0.07. So phi of z1 is equal to 0.07 minus 0.5. So phi of z1 is equal to minus 0.43. Similarly, we will take the second condition. When x is less than 60, we have taken it as z less than z2. It is given to be 0.89. z2 again I will mark. Again it is less than z2. Means it contains all the points up to z2. That means 0.5 plus the remaining portion, that is 0.5 plus phi of z2 is equal to 0.89. If we calculate phi of z2, we get it as phi of z2 is equal to 0.39. Here we need not use the probability table, since in the data they have given p of 1.2263 is 0.39. So 0.39 is here. So phi of z1 39 is here, and one more thing, p of 1.4757 is 0.43. So 43 is here. Phi of z1 is equal to, instead of minus I will keep as it is, instead of 43 I will write phi of 1.4757. Therefore the corresponding value of z1 is minus 1.4757. Similarly, second result we will take. Phi of z2 is 0.39. 0.39 is given here. So instead of phi of z2, I can write it as phi of 1.2263. So the value of z2 is 1.2263. So instead of taking the help of probability table, here it is given in the question itself as data. So we have found the values of z1 and z2. We will put the values of z1 and z2 here in the above equation. So that 35 minus mu by sigma is equal to minus 1.4757 and 16 minus mu by sigma is equal to 1.2263. If we rearrange that, we get two equations, simultaneous equations in mu and sigma. Solve these two equations using your calculator to get the values of mu and sigma. So mu you get as 48.65 and sigma you get as 9.25. So like this, we have learned how to find the value of mean and standard deviation when the probabilities are given. So let us see one more different kind of problem. So in this problem, we have to obtain an equation for the normal probability curve that may be fitted to the following table. So for our convenience, I have written this variable as x and frequency I have represented it as small letter f. We have already seen in the beginning of the normal distribution that the normal probability curve is given by the equation f of x is equal to 1 by sigma into square root of 2 pi into e power minus x minus mu whole square by 2 sigma square. So to write the normal probability curve, we have to find the value of mu and sigma. For that, we will be using the given table. So already we have learned this in our second PU classes. Mu is given by the formula sigma fx by f. Sigma fx is nothing but the product of f into x. That is 6 3s are 18, 7 6s are 42, 8 9s are 72, 13 9s are 117, 10 plus 8 is 80, 11 into 5 is 55, 12 plus 4 is 40, so 12 into 4 is 48. Sigma f is nothing but the sum of all the values of f. So if I add all the values of f, I get the value to be 45. So if I calculate mu, I get the value to be 9. So mu we have obtained as 9. Next, to find the variance sigma square, the formula is sigma f x square by sigma f minus mu square. So here f x square is nothing but the product of x square, that is 36 into 3, 49 into 6, 64 into 9 and so on. So if we calculate that, 36 into 3, 49 into 6, 64 into 9. Likewise, if we add the multiples of all this, we get minus mu square is there, minus 9 square divided by 48. When we do, we get sigma square as 2.5833. So sigma is the square root of 2.5833, which is 1.607. So if we put these values in f of x, we get the required normal probability curve. So with this we have come to an end of the normal distribution. I hope all of you have understood. Practice these problems so that you can do well in your exams. Thank you.